Rome is still half asleep, the Colosseum does something strange. It seems to breathe. The shadows stretch across its broken arches, pigeons stir on ancient stone, and for a moment, just a moment, it feels as though the past is listening. Nearly 2,000 years ago, that same stone shook beneath the roar of 50,000 voices, screaming not for music or sport, but for blood, bravery, and spectacle. This was not just entertainment. This was Rome proving its power to the world. The Colosseum rose from an unlikely place. Before it stood here, the land was occupied by an artificial lake, part of Emperor Nero's extravagant palace complex, the Domus Aurea. After Nero's death, his memory became poison. The emperors who followed wanted to erase him, not just from history books, but from the physical landscape of Rome itself. So Emperor Vespasian made a radical decision: drain the lake and give the land back to the people in the form of a massive public arena. Where one man had indulged his vanity, the empire would now celebrate itself. Construction began around AD 70, powered by the spoils of war, particularly treasure and enslaved labor taken from Jerusalem after the Jewish revolt. Tens of thousands of workers quarried stone, mixed concrete, and hauled travertine blocks into place without cranes, without modern tools, guided only by Roman engineering genius. In less than a decade, something unprecedented stood at the heart of Rome, the largest amphitheater the ancient world had ever seen. When it opened, Rome erupted in celebration. The inaugural games reportedly lasted 100 days. 100 days of slaughter, pageantry, and awe. Exotic animals were shipped from across the empire: lions from Africa, bears from the Alps, elephants from distant lands many Romans would never see. Gladiators fought not only each other, but beasts, criminals, and fate itself. The Colosseum became a living map of the Roman world, its power displayed through dominance over nature and human bodies alike. Yet what made the Colosseum truly extraordinary wasn't just what happened on the sand-covered floor, but how it all worked. Beneath the arena lay the hypogum, a hidden maze of tunnels, pulleys, cages, and elevators. Animals could be raised through trapdoors without warning, erupting into the arena as if summoned by magic. Entire scenes could be staged in moments. For the audience above, it felt supernatural. For the men below, it was terror engineered to perfection. The crowd itself was carefully organized. Roman society was rigid, and the seating reflected that order. Senators sat closest to the action, their marble seats engraved with their names. Wealthy citizens filled the lower tiers, while women, enslaved people, and the poor were pushed higher, sometimes all the way to the wooden benches at the top. Even in entertainment, Rome reminded you who you were. Despite popular belief, gladiators were not always doomed men. Many were trained professionals, some volunteers seeking fame, money, or redemption. They lived under strict discipline, fed carefully balanced diets, and trained like elite athletes. Successful gladiators became celebrities. Their images appeared on graffiti and household objects. Women wrote love notes to them. Their sweat, yes, their sweat, was collected and sold as a cosmetic believed to improve skin. Still, death was never far away. A fallen gladiator's fate rested in the hands of the crowd and the editor of the games, often the emperor himself. Contrary to modern myth, the famous thumbs-down gesture is misleading. What mattered was whether the crowd demanded mercy or death, and whether sparing a life suited political interests. In the Colosseum, survival was as much about popularity as skill. The games were free. That was the point. Bread and circuses, as the Roman poet Juvenal sneered, food and entertainment to keep the population distracted and loyal. The Colosseum was propaganda in stone. Every arch, every spectacle whispered the same message: Rome is eternal. Rome is unstoppable. Rome provides. But eternity is a dangerous promise. As centuries passed, the empire weakened. Gladiatorial games were eventually banned, not only because of changing morals, but because they were expensive and difficult to sustain. Earthquakes cracked the Colosseum's outer walls. Fires and neglect took their toll. Stone was stripped away and reused to build palaces, churches, even parts of St. Peter's Basilica. What had once symbolized absolute power became a convenient quarry. And yet, the Colosseum refused to disappear. During the Middle Ages, it took on strange new lives. It became a fortress, a shelter, a marketplace, even a place of housing. Vines crept up its walls. Wildflowers grew in its cracks, so many varieties that Renaissance botanists came to study them. Where blood once soaked the sand, nature quietly reclaimed its ground.